Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday, December 10th edition of Speak That Talks. My name is Tiara M. Tucker, and I am, as always, ready, smiling, and excited for another edition of Speak That Talks, the unscripted, unfiltered, and uncensored live conversation where I'll have a very special guest with me today. So go ahead, tag some people, share this, host a watch party, grab your notepad, grab whatever it is that's going to make you feel good because for the next hour, you will be empowered, inspired, and uplifted. So we'll go live in 30 seconds. That 30 seconds always goes by fast. So thank you so much for everybody that is tuning in for this week's edition of Speak That Talks. So I already see that we have some people tuning in. So come on and join us. We are live on the Speak That Movement page on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are on another page, a personal page, I would love for you to come on over to the Speak That Movement page so that we can virtually connect and socialize. Also, share your name, your city, and your comments because we are going to virtually connect. So, for those of you who do not know, and for those of you who do know, hello, everybody. My name is Tiara M. Tucker. I am the founder and CEO of Tiara PR Network, LLC, as well as Speak That Movement. And I am also the host and producer and creator of Speak That Talks. So I just have to say, shout out to Speak That Talks because this is the 32nd consecutive week of going live. So what started on May 7th, 2020 with just a very unplanned effort to just go live because of everything that was going on in the world, from social injustices to dealing with COVID-19 and everything else. I just wanted to go live. So 32 weeks ago in this very home, I went live on Facebook. And I'm so grateful and so blessed that 32 weeks later, we're still going strong. And as I like to say, we'll keep going strong as long as you all are tuning in. So to learn more about Tiara PR Network, Speak That Movement, or Speak That Talks, check out the website, tiaraprnetwork.com. So I want to do some shout outs. Who do we have with us today? Shout out to Miss Michelle MacArthur. Hello, happy Thursday to you. And shout out to Plano, Texas, representing the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And Michelle is a former Speak That Talk speaker, as well as a representative of the Dallas Professional Women Organization that is doing major things here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Thanks for joining, beautiful lady. Shout out to Miss Maxine Johnson in the virtual Speak That Talks building. For those of you who tuned in last week, you should already know that Maxine was a special guest speaker last week, and we had a phenomenal conversation. We talked about relationship goals. We talked about other hot topics, and I would love for you to check it out for yourself. Go to the Speak That Movement page on Facebook or YouTube and check out the videos, and you can watch the replay. And make sure you add your comments because Maxine and I will check them out. Blessings to you too, my sister. Woohoo back at you, Michelle. And yep, shout out to the Dallas Professional Women. Hello, Miss Delaney. Thank you. Shout out from my hometown of Kankakee, Illinois. So as you all can see, we have people representing and joining Speak That Talks from all over the country, Texas, Illinois, Philadelphia, and I'm even more excited to announce today's guest speaker in a few moments because she's representing a beautiful state called Florida. So before I get into my guest speaker and our conversation, I want to again encourage you all to check out Speak That Movement. Meet us on the page. We are about to have a great conversation, and we are about to have a great talk, and we want you involved. So I'm going to step back a moment. So last week, I talked about a hot topic, which is about True Kitchen. So True Kitchen is the restaurant here in the Dallas area that actually made national news and probably international news when it went viral last week. And you all can check it out for yourself. And I'm in PR, so I know that anytime something may appear to be negative, sometimes the negative is what leads to the positive. So anywho, I say all that to say last week, I gave a shout out to the owner, Kevin, because I've only heard great things about him. And I've only heard great things really about the restaurant as well as the food. So today, right before Speak That Talks, I went to the restaurant today. I met Kevin. He's an amazing man. We had a great brief conversation. He showed me and my table and the people I was with, my cousin Sabrina, we were celebrating her birthday. So he showed us love, and everybody there, the staff, they were all amazing. The food was amazing. And I have to say, nobody was twerking today, okay? So you're more than welcome to go and check out True Kitchen. Shout out to everybody representing True Kitchen. And shout out to my cousin Sabrina Ames, happy birthday. And my nephew, Tristan Gaines, who turned 11 years old yesterday. All right, so now that we've covered that and we just gave our shout out to True Kitchen, I am going to bring up today's guest speaker. I am so excited to have her on. And before we do that, I got some more shout outs. People are just coming in left and right. Hello, Miss Karen Wilson, representing Peoria, Illinois. Karen was also on Speak That Talks before. And also, hello, Miss Janice Tucker Farrell, watching from watching from Texas by way of Kankakee, Illinois, the hometown. Blessings to you too, Mom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's kick off today's Speak That Talks with a very special guest speaker. As I said earlier, she is representing Florida by way of Orlando, Florida. Her name is Dr. Vernita Glenn White. We actually met through a mutual person, Melissa Stiers, who was actually a Speak That Talks guest. And Dr. Vernita is also a part of an amazing organization that I'll let her talk about later. But without further ado, please help me show some virtual Speak That Talks love to today's special guest, Miss Dr. Sister Vernita Glenn White.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining. How are you feeling today?
I am fantastic, and I am excited to be here with you and your wonderful guests tonight.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, you are the wonderful guest today, and all of the virtual guests that are joining us as well. So I'm so happy to have you on. Shout out, Omiki. I see you over there watching on Facebook. Come on over to the Speak That Movement page if you're out there so we can pull you into the conversation. So you and I, this is our first time officially meeting.
Right.
So we actually had our pre-party behind the scenes before we just went live. We also were participating in a virtual conference.
Mm-hmm.
Was it October?
November. It was the 8th, I think.
No, you're right. It was November. So we both were a part of the She Women's Empowerment Conference, brought to you by Miss Tanya. So that was amazing. We have some mutual people that we've met. So tell everybody more about you. Who are you? What do you represent? And what do you want people to know?
All right. So who am I? I am Vernita Glenn White. I go by Dr. V, and I am the CEO and founder of The Vibe Institute, where we help high achieving women vibrate higher in their influence, brilliance, and excellence so they can be their most empowered selves. I came along this journey because I realized that a lot of high achieving women hit personal glass ceilings. Like, we can do amazing things in the professional world, but our personal lives are at a standstill. And because our professional lives are at a standstill, that creates this perpetual glass ceiling. And I only know that from experience. So after my journey, I was like, I can't be the only woman out here, looking good on paper and not feeling good on the inside when I come home from work. And I've made this my mission, especially, this year, to make sure no other woman gets stuck in their own head so they can be their most empowered selves.
Nice. I like what you're doing, and we're gonna dig into that a little bit more. So let's break down your name, okay? I'm gonna do something different. Doctor. Tell us, how did you become Dr. V?
Wow, no one has ever done this before. No one really doesn't ask. They just say, oh, okay, cool. So how did I become doctor? Short version, I had a thought in my head in 2012, 2011. I was like, I think I want to go get my PhD. No, I said I want to go get a doctorate because there were so many people in the school district trying to tell us what to do. And I realized they all had doctorate degrees. So I was like, well, maybe that's what I need so I can come back and tell people what to do. And then it got to the point, well, if you're going to get a doctorate degree, you need to figure out what kind of doctor you want to be. I was like, whatever's the shortest, quickest way possible. But then I was like, that's not the way to approach it. If you're going to spend this much time in school, let's figure something out. So this is what I did. I looked at everyone who was telling us what to do. What did they not have? What degree did they not have? None of them had PhDs, and none of them had PhDs in mathematics. Guess what? I said, oh, I'll do it. And so
in math?
Yes. So it was like October of 2011. I had the thought. Deadline was December 1st, 2011. Got the notification that I was in around February. Went to school August 2012. Finished in 2015, and that's how I became doctor.
Oh my, you know what? Congratulations to you. So what is the degree in?
Degree is mathematics education. So that's what it's, math.
Yeah. So you are absolutely the only person in my world that I know that has a doctorate in math. So when I have number problems, you are the sister that I will call on, okay?
That's what people say. I do the science, the teaching and learning, and the science behind understanding mathematics. Yeah, but I can't do numbers. I got you. I can.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's why I love to ask questions and I love to talk to people because, I wouldn't have known, right? So awesome. So Dr. Vernita Glenn White represented Florida. How is it in Florida right now? I'm not even going to talk about politics. I know me and you talked politics. We're not going to talk about Florida today. That's okay. We're going to talk about in general, how's Florida right now?
I'm from Orlando, so we did our part in Orlando, but that's as far as we're going to go. But things are going great. We have this funny weather where we've been cold. Well, cold to us Floridians. It was in the 40s. We were about to freeze to death. I got on my UGG boots, and then tomorrow it's going to be like in the 70s. So
yeah, that's
how it is in Orlando. But things are great. I love it. Born and raised here. I love it.
Good. Well, awesome. It's always a pleasure. I've had other people representing Florida on, so it's just a blessing to know that there are people representing all parts of the country. So Thank you so much for being on today. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about different hot topics. Right. And everybody out there listening in, we want you to join in on the conversation. So add your comments, add your questions. Let us know if you're feeling something, because at the end of the day, we want us all to just connect virtually. So shout out to all of you out there, Valerie Jenkins. Shout out to you, Tobias Starnes. Come on over to the Speak That Movement page and join us. So let's talk about the very first hot topic of the day. So during the month of November, I had a special series called Women in Business. So I had special guest women throughout the month of November, and we just talked about various hot topics. So I want to ask you, just to kind of set the tone and kick us off, when you see women in business, what do you think about?
So the first thing I'll be honest, the first thing I thought about whenever I heard the term women in business were women in these power suits in corporate offices. That used to be the first thing I thought about with women in business. But now that I am a woman in business, it looks totally different than my mind of what I thought it was. Women in business for me means you're in charge of your own service. You're in charge of your own, you're the editor-in-chief of your craft and your services that you're presenting to people, and you're in charge of your bottom line, making your own money. And that could be whatever gifts and talents that you choose to have, whether it's in the corporate space in your business suit or whether it's in your house virtually. You know, women in business now, especially in 2020 and beyond, has taken a totally different look and approach. So that is now my new view and vision of women in business.
I love that. And I'll just add on to that. When I think about women in business, I think about absolutely everything that you said. But I also think about the women that are the entrepreneurs or in corporate America, or not even in corporate America. I think about the people that maybe they're retired, or maybe they're entering the workforce. I think a woman in business can be somebody in college right now, or somebody that's just handling their business, whatever that may be. I think of a woman in business as a mother, a grandmother, you know, someone that's running a household, because whatever their business is, they're in it and they're running it and they're living it. So I love to hear everybody's definition and just broaden it up so that, you know, everybody can feel it. But I definitely love this particular topic, and I want to salute every woman in business out there that's doing your thing against all odds, that's breaking and shattering those glass ceilings and those glass walls. And I'm going to shout you out because if I'm not mistaken, you're a woman representing AKA, right? You're an AKA?
Hello, my sorors. Skiwi, yes. Absolutely.
I'm going to shout you out
over here also.
Yes. Shout out to you all. I'm a Delta, one of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Inc., but we are all sisters in the end. So I want to shout out you and your organization because of our new VP who just showed us, VP Harris, that we all can just make it to the top and create the top. So shout out to you and all of you.
Yes, Divine Nine is on fire right now. It doesn't matter what specific organization, Divine Nine has been represented like no other.
That's right. That's right, Valerie. Absolutely. All of that. That's the truth. Yes, it is. Okay, I see the pink and green hearts. Where are my deltas at? We need some red hearts. We need some red hearts. But it's okay. I have so much love for you all. And Black Girl Magic all day long.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, women in business. So that was the hot topic, and that was the series for November. So I'm going to take us into December. So this month's hot topic has been women who lead. So took it to the next level this month, had some amazing speakers. Actually, Maxine was the first speaker. You're the second speaker this month. And then I have another speaker next week. So make sure you all tune in next week. So when you see women who lead, what do you think about Dr. V?
So here's an interesting story that has never left me since. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I think it was like in 2019, last year. Somewhere I was at the university, so it had to be last year because I was physically on campus. And we were doing an event for young girls in STEM, like 7th and 8th graders. And we invited our university president, who was the first female president in the history of the institution. The institution was founded in 1883. And she was first woman president there. And we were in a panel, and I forgot what the question was. It was something about serving people. And our associate provost was talking about, I just want to help and serve people and this, that, and the other. And the president said, Dr. Libby, she was like, I hear that, but my job is not to always serve. I am a leader. I can't come to this university to serve all of you. I have to take charge and lead. She was like, you know, as women, we always default to service. There's nothing wrong with that, but we are leaders through and through. And I don't know why that blew me away, but I was like, you know what? Yes, we take charge. We get things done. We are strategic planners. We project manage. We do all of that. So we not only just serve and, you know, help others. Of course, that's great, but we also know how to be on that front line, taking charge and leading. So whenever I hear women who lead, yes, Karen, boss moves. I know I'm taking over, but I saw that. But every time I hear about women leadership, I think about her and how strong she had to be the first woman president. And I was like, we do that all the time, especially women of color. We don't I don't think we fully walk into that, but we're leaders all day long because we take charge and make things happen.
That's right. And Valerie says, ladies in leadership take control. That's what
Oh, I like that.
represents. Thank you, Valerie. Shout out to Bobby Tucker that says she ain't lying. So go Dr. V, speak that truth. Thank you for joining, Bobby. You know we love the men too.
Yes.
So I love that. And it sounds like something that you heard in the past is still just resonating with you today.
Yes, because I haven't heard. I always hear people who are in those higher, like, leading roles. They always default to service. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but to hear that coming from her and knowing what she had to do, because my institution is a trip, but I'm not going to say where it is. But just to hear her say that in front of these young women who were 7th and 8th graders, they needed to hear that. Yes, please be of service, but you are also a leader, and that just resonated with me as well.
Yeah. So when you think about women who lead, what do you think are some of the top characteristics or top attributes that could define a woman who leads, and whether she's leading in the workplace, leading in the community, leading in her home, wherever she's choosing to lead? What do you think are some pretty good,
That's a good one. I think a woman who's authentic is a leader, authentically herself, unapologetic, unapologetically herself. Integrity, a woman who has integrity. So to be a leader, you have to go against the grain a lot of times, and it's like, what are you going to stand in? So being a woman of integrity, being honest. And I know, like, we blur the lines sometimes between integrity and honest, but being honest, one, with yourself about what you can and cannot do and what you will and will not tolerate. And then compassion. I am working on that muscle. My people in my circle know that. But I do think a woman who leads also needs to have compassion, because sometimes when you're a strong woman, and I can speak for myself and some other women I know, that compassion muscle is a little weak, because we have to, get things moving and make things happen. But to be a true leader, there needs to be a softer side. And we do have that as women, but as a leader, to let that show. So those are some characteristics I would say that a woman in leadership should have.
That's good. And we want to hear from you all out there. Tell us, what are some attributes or characteristics that you think are great when it comes to women who lead? And I see that Maxine says integrity, and I think that's a very that's a good one. That's a much needed one. So you mentioned something, not to dig too deep, but you mentioned, as an example, compassion is something that you're working on, and we all have things that we're working on, right? I would say for me, I'm learning to work more in the space of I won't say delegating, but like, because I'm so used to doing so much, like kind of solo dolo, I'm now embracing this space of, wow, people want to come in and help and support. And wow, it is just an amazing space to be in. And it's something too that I will say, I'm being transparent. It is something that I am having to get used to, right? Like, oh, here's my baby. Y'all can hold it. Let's rock it. Let's rock this baby together. Don't rock it too fast. Don't rock it too slow. Wait, like, no, right? So, but it's a beautiful thing. So when you think about, like, let's say people like us out there that we're working on some things, any like feedback or words of encouragement, what's helping you as you continue to like better yourself?
So it talks what you said, allowing people to help and support me. I never said that, oh my gosh, people don't support me. I never had that, because whatever I put out, I've always felt supported, but I didn't allow people to support me in the work. Like, they could support me like, yeah, you go ahead, you doing the thing, girl. But to support I'll give you an example, because I'm better at examples. So when I wrote my second book, it's out. And of course, I was reading it. I was getting stuck. Thank you. Well, it will be out December 22nd, but we'll talk about that later. When I was going through it, and I was like, okay, I'm stuck somewhere. And normally if I'm stuck, I'll just walk away. And I was like, it'll come to me. But in my group of like-minded sisters, I put it out there and I was like, okay, I need some help. And I had to ask for help. Like, y'all show me something that I'm missing because I can't be stuck for 2 more weeks, right? And I would have never done that. So it's like, if you want to grow and expand, you have to ask for help. And I used to think that was a sign of weakness, or I was incompetent, or I was like, I should be able to figure this out. And it was like, no, this is why you have a team of people so they can see your blind spot. So it's almost like delegating, but asking for support and help. That's some advice and something that I had to learn to do, especially going down this business path.
Yeah, that is a really good, like, I'm sure people are out there with some thumbs up, pumping up and everything. And it's kind of interesting as I hear you say that, because I totally agree that sometimes strong women or creative women or whatever it might be, we can be so strong but feel weak when we have to ask for a little help. Like,
Absolutely.
well, we can ask for help in everything else in life. Like, what do you think about this outfit? Hey, can you babysit today? Hey, but when it comes to something that really we should want help in, because like you said, it's almost like iron sharpens iron, right? Or somebody that might notice a blind spot. So I think that after hearing you say that and me really thinking about that, it's time to rewrite the narrative on that. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. That means that whatever you have going on, you want it to be better. You want it to elevate. Exactly. And that's why you're calling in the troops for support.
I love it. Yes. And then you have to make sure that your troops are their gladiators as well. Like, they're not people who gonna talk about your stuff and bring it down. You know, they got to be either at your level or higher. You need to be around people. And I heard a mentor say this, that calls you to stand on your tippy toes. So if you're looking around, and I made a post and it's been sticking with me, you can't be the brightest crayon in the box all the time. You know, you got to get some other people. So yes, just so let's not delegate to everybody. Let's not ask everybody for support.
Use discernment, okay? Trust that intuition.
Yes.
Not everybody. I love having a seat at the table, but you don't invite everybody to that special VIP dinner, okay? So we have some folks out here that want to share their attributes that they think are great for leaders. So Karen says, love unapologetic. I think that's a big one. Bobby, boldness.
Yes.
Know how to teach. I got you on the title. No problems. Teach. That's right. Karen says being able to delegate, which we all agree on. And Delaney says self-love and confidence. I really love that, Delaney. I love that self-love piece.
Major.
And we'll talk about that one a little bit more, but I like that a lot. Janice, the power of asking. Yes, like ask not, have not, right?
Exactly.
And Miss Valerie, we are so used to wearing the S, superwoman. It's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you all for chiming in. And if you have more, please add them. So let's talk about something else. This is a space that I know for a fact that you lead in. You lead in this space. And oh, let me add this one. This is funny.
I know.
Never fed. You all right? Unless you're trying to drink through a straw, you better open that mouth and
open your mouth and say something.
And eat. And everybody can't sit at the table with you. That is absolutely right. No offense, but when there's something perhaps that God is birthing, or something that maybe you're being called to do, there may only be times where there's only so much space for so many people. That doesn't mean everybody's not invited. That doesn't mean everybody's not invited to the party. Everybody's not invited maybe in another room or in another space. But there may be times in life where you got to work out that particular table to birth that particular thing. And then you can open up the door. So I love all that. So let's go on to the next hot topic of the day.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I think that this is a space that you are rocking in. So hot topic number 3. for Dr. V. You know I had rhyme. Reinvention.
Reinvention. Yes.
Tell us about that. What do you think when you see that?
Reinvention. So yeah, I am in a major reinvention expansion phase. Went from a K-12 teacher teaching mathematics, college professor teaching mathematics, and now I'm in this space of being an entrepreneur. And I dare to say personal coach, so empowerment strategist and personal coach. Wait, like what? Where did this come from? So there's things that been bubbling up inside of me for years, but couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, I went to school, I did all this, I'm in my career. I'm one of the fortunate people who can actually work in their career where they got their degree in. And I was like, okay, maybe this is it. But then God said, not so, not so. And I was like, all right, what am I supposed to do? And I kept feeling this pull, and I kept trying to do everything around where I was. And it was like, no, it's time to go to another level. It's time to reinvent yourself. And I was like, man, I'm too old to reinvent. Like this is something you do in your 20s, or maybe I'm too young to reinvent, because that's something maybe you do in your 50s when you've done all of these things. But I learned there's no time limit, there's no age, and you have to walk in the space that you're being pulled to walk in. So reinvention for me is walking into what was already placed into you. And then like the more you open up and expand, the more you can walk into what was already placed inside. So it's not so much that you're reinventing a whole new person, but you're uncovering. I think that would be more of how I would describe my reinvention, is uncovering what was already there, and it was hidden based on the layers that I put on. Maybe, I would, and truth be told, I wasn't supposed to be a professor all of this time. I think maybe I was supposed to be a professor for like 2 years to learn a lesson and be out. But I was like, no, because I felt this pull a while ago, and I was like, no, not me. I don't do that. What is this coaching stuff? I don't do that. The only coaching I did was like an instructional coach when I worked at the district office, in K-12. But it's like you walk into the purpose that that you've had all of this time, and you just uncover. So reinvention for me means uncovering and walking into your true purpose, and not what you think your purpose should be. I hope that made sense.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot, so I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it made total sense. And I commend you for reinventing yourself. And I love the piece that you add. I love the transparency and the kind of the self-reflection. It sounds like you had, where am I too old to reinvent myself? Am I too young to reinvent myself? And I agree with you, right? You're not too young or too old for people to reinvent themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you think reinvention was like a midlife crisis or something? I did. I'll just be honest. I was like, wait, I'm not even midlife yet. Is this? So that's what I used to think, but totally different.
Yes. I'm with you. Like, let me just chop off all the hair and dye it red. I'm reinventing myself.
And the crazy thing, I've always been like this. I was talking to my sister today, and we were just reminiscing over like how our mom let us be our most creative selves. I've had red hair, short hair, purple hair. I had a blossom phase, a preppy stage, a tomboy stage. So I was always reinventing or uncovering. But something happened, at adult age, to where I thought I was supposed to stay in one lane or one space, and God said, not so. You've always been like this. Why are you been trying to conform?
Yeah. So it sounds like you gave yourself permission.
Yeah, permission and giving notice. 2020 has taught me that. Like, yes, permission is one thing, but then it's like we are also giving notice. That's who I am. Taking a leave. It is what it is.
I like that, my sister. Not only am I giving myself permission, I'm giving notice.
Exactly.
Talk about that a little bit more. I like that confidence and that boldness and that unapologetic spirit right there.
Yeah, I have to get back to it. And I was like, I know it was, and that's what, like, I had to learn this on my personal development journey. Sometimes we think we lost ourselves, or we got to get back to ourselves, and we didn't lose it. Whatever traits and things that we had them as a child. Once you show up, this is what you get. But what happens, life buries all of that stuff. So we have to do so much uncovering. And once you uncover, you realize I've always been fearless as a child. I jumped off swings and stuff, so why am I not being fearless as an adult? And once you get to the space of you are enough, you love yourself, you are confident in your skill set, you're confident who you are, you don't ask for people to say, is it okay if I show up and do this? Is it okay if I cut my hair? Is it okay if I start this business? I'm doing it. Here it is. You'll see the flyer when I put out there. And that's giving notice. Like, there's one thing about asking people for advice, because advice really is supposed to be confirmation. Like, they're not supposed to be telling you what to do. But then you get into a point where you own everything and every part of you, and you just give people notice. I'm showing up. Like, you gave notice with Speak That. You didn't ask people what they thought. You came on here May 7th and said, I'm doing it, catch me. And you've been doing it ever since. So that is a perfect example of giving notice, because had you asked people, they probably would have said, no, you don't want to do that. It's the pandemic. Don't start now. Nobody's going to watch. And here you are 32 weeks strong. You, my sister, gave notice.
Wow. Speak that, okay? I'm going to have you come on for the next 32 weeks just to repeat that line, okay? Boom is right, Maxine. And fire, yes. Speak that truth on everything that you just said. So, wow. I love that. That's some good stuff right there. I want to go back to something that you said, and I want to bring up a comment as well. You mentioned 2020. 2020, we all know, I mean, we can say it enough, right? Some people want to say 2020 has been the worst year ever. I won't argue. People can feel what they feel. But there are a lot of people, including myself, not dismissing the things that have occurred. We will never dismiss and be insensitive to the tragedy and the trauma that 2020 has brought. Exactly. But we have to recognize that for many people, 2020 has probably been one of the best years on a personal level for some people. So I want to bring up this comment where Sheena says, 2020 has opened my eyes to walking in my purpose.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned 2020. So let's go a little bit deeper. What has happened? Maybe one or two significant things in the middle of the pandemic that where Dr. V said, I'm giving myself permission and I'm giving y'all notice. Give us some examples of what has transpired in your life in 2020.
In 2020, I gave up being on a tenure track as a college professor. And if anyone's in that higher education space, I'm just giving a small background. When you're working in higher ed, your goal, especially if you're on tenure track, your goal is to work 5, 6, however many years, mainly is 6, so you can have a job for life. You do all of your articles, publications, all of that, boom, you have a job for life. And I told you I was only supposed to be there, I think, 2 years, but ego got in the way. And I was like, no, I'm going to fight for tenure, even though I didn't want it. But the high achiever in me was like, I'm going to get this, right?
Why do we ask for stuff we don't want sometimes?
Because I'm going to prove you wrong. That's that ego. Like, I'm going to do this just because you said I couldn't. So it was a whole lot of things going on. And they wanted me to do some things that just weren't right with me. And it was like, I don't even want to do this. And I'm not jumping through any hoops. So I gave up tenure. No longer tenure track. And that's like career suicide for people in higher ed, to tell you the truth. But I gave notice. I don't need this job. I don't need you, because my purpose is greater. 2020 allowed me to see that I'm too young to die and retire at this university and not have a bigger purpose, because I wrote a vision of myself back last year and it didn't include this. So why am I fighting for it? So I gave notice and gave myself permission to play from that, and it is okay. Now, don't get me wrong, in the corner like, Lord, what did I just do? But that's something that I needed to do for myself. And the other thing that was significant was really being serious about walking this calling to help other women, especially high achieving women, launch a business and a program and a book. I did all of that in a few months of the pandemic when we were in shutdown mode because I didn't have anything else to do. It came at the time where we were on break for the summer at the institution. The world was shut down, so I didn't have anything to do but to sit and create and listen to myself. So those were some significant things that 2020 allowed me to do. And it's because you had no choice but to sit down. Either you're going to be depressed or you're going to self-reflect. You have a decision which one you were going to do. So, and that's what I did.
That is good. Like, and I'm with you. 2020, what are you going to do? There was a period, right? You're not going to the restaurant. You're not going to the club. You're not going to the beach. You're not getting on a plane comfortably.
Exactly.
So what are you going to do? Now you can Netflix and chill.
You can.
I'm not knocking it. Shout out to my mama because she let me use her Netflix password. So I finally, during quarantine life, I now have a Netflix account thanks to mama. But the point is, that wasn't what I was concerned about. I wasn't watching TV or movies. I was tired of watching the news, seeing all of the depressing things taking place in 2020. I got quiet. I got silent. I got in that prayer closet. I talked to God. I listened to God, and I became more productive in 2020 than I feel like I've been in a very long time.
I'm going to say ever, because as high achievers, and you are one too, we can do things, and we do things that look fabulous all the time. Our 60% looks like somebody else's 150. But I think with the pandemic and the quarantine, that allowed us to realize we have not tapped into our 100%. And we've uncovered things and became more creative because, like you said, we didn't have anything else to do. Everything else has been a distraction. Going out to the happy hours, to the beach. You probably had a thought that you wanted to do something like this all of this time. But you're like, But 2020 made you say, okay, what?
Right. I got something in the house. What am I do? You know what? Oh, that thought that keeps popping up every day, that feeling that won't go away, that vision that keeps popping up.
Exactly.
Let's just do something. People out there are like, let's write a book. I've heard so many people this year that I know personally that published books this year. Published books, including yourself. People that launched a business. People that got married.
Yeah.
2020. So yes, there have been valley low moments. Right. There have been mountain high blessings this year. And I love to say, y'all better press in. Press in. It's not too late. Right. We still have over 20 days left in 2020. If you don't know what we're talking about, then get down on your knees and ask God, what's this that they're talking about, God? What can I do? What can you do in the next 21 days? You're a miracle worker. Sure. You don't need time to do things. So I see that some people are trying to get me off track and add distractions back into my life. Yes, shout out to mama for Netflix. Yes. Yes, mama, thank you so much for allowing me to use your password and have a joint account with you. But Karen, I cannot be distracted. I will not watch the urban movie channel, okay? Nope, I have to stay the course.
I do have my sister's password. I hope Netflix not listening. And there are some times where I do turn it on, just to I may do it. So I don't want to knock it and say I'm always in full mode. But I was like, I can't be Netflix and chilling for days on end. That's
Mama had me just as no offense, but the title of the movie I think had hillbilly in it. So I was up till 3 a.m. last night watching some Netflix movie about hillbillies, and I think that was the title, hillbilly something. So I'm not being discriminatory or rude, okay? But it was really good. But I'm like, okay, Netflix, I'm kind of glad I wasn't watching you the past few years of my life. But anywho, shout out to Netflix and everybody out there with some good shows that you all are watching. So let's talk a little bit before we move on and wrap this up. I want to talk a little bit about the purpose piece. So the people out there that are maybe looking to reinvent themselves and maybe they're seeking purpose, trying to figure out what is my purpose? I don't know. That's right, Karen. Look at you. Karen, you must be the Netflix queen. That's it. Hillbilly something. That's it.
Wow.
Yep. So anyhow, I'm sorry, I got distracted. So No, thank you for that, Karen. So the people that are listening right now or listening later who are like, okay, I've been hearing this women in business talk. I've been hearing this women who lead talk. I'm hearing Dr. V talk about reinventing yourself. I'm hearing what she has done in 2020. Talk to the people out there and that still have time in 2020. What do you have to say?
So let me give you a shortcut so you don't take years like I did. And, mentors who took even longer, they gave me this shortcut. Whatever thought that's in your mind to do, go ahead and do it, and don't be attached to the outcome, because your purpose is only defined once you're in action. I used to be the one, I have a logical brain. I'm a mathematician. So I was like, I need to know all the steps and the points before I start. Well, numbers work like that, but life doesn't. And it wasn't until I start, you know what, I think I want to do this. Like, I think I want to talk about culturally responsiveness and be the next diversity, equity, inclusion person. So I did a whole series on my Facebook. I did some posts and things like that, put it out there, created a little course. And I was like, I want to do this. And then but I got it out of my system, right? And then I did something else. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Now, all of this is in 20, like, I kid you not, all of this was in this time frame, because years before I would just have these thoughts and never move. And I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But it wasn't until I actually did stuff, put it out there, and I was like, did it catch? No. All right, let me move on. So if you're looking for your purpose, stay out of your head and just do something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You're getting closer to what you are supposed to be doing. So that is what I'll say. The more you sit there and think about it, you don't have time to think about it. You get that thought, it was downloaded to you for a reason, and who knows, it may circle back, but you won't know until you actually get in action.
That is solid, like solid advice right there. So kudos. And I love that. Like, give it a try. I mean, you're not failing because you did something and you did it. I like that a lot. And I think that word right there, Dr. V, is going to empower so many of us to say, you know what? I don't have anything to lose but missing out on the opportunity to try.
Exactly.
I love that. So listen, guys, as you can see, this time goes by so fast. Like, so fast. And I just want to thank you. We have a little bit more to go, but thank you for just dropping those jewels and those nuggets. And I know there's so much more in you. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say for the next portion of the show. And if you guys are out there, it's not too late. Share it, host a watch party, because right now we are about to move on to one of my favorite portions of Speak That Talks, which is the Speak That Movement, Speak That Speed round. So for this portion, we're going to talk about the 4 pillars of Speak That Movement. So it's not too late to join us, to give your thoughts on each pillar. Meet us on the Speak That Movement page on Facebook or YouTube. And we're about to close this show out with a bang. And Dr. V is going to bless the Speak That Talks platform by sharing her thoughts. And I want to add this comment, just do it. So everybody out there with a dream, a vision, a nudge, an idea, a thought, whatever, just do it. What do you have to lose? I figure like this, the way 2020 has been, if you want to write off 2020, you will not be alone, okay? If you want to take 2020 and say, man, that year was the bomb, I don't know what y'all talking about, then let that be you. You write your story, and you can continuously reinvent your story and rewrite the narrative of your life, right?
Exactly.
Good stuff, good stuff. So, Dr. V, are you ready? I have all kind of rhymes with your name.
I love it. Yes, I am ready.
All right, so we are about to kick off the December 10th, 2020 edition of the Speak That Movement Speed Round. And the 4 pillars are dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it. So we're going to go one by one. And Dr. V, representing Florida, is going to give us her thoughts on each and every one. But as we do this, Dr. V, I want you to speak life to the people out there.
Okay.
As we think about the fact that we're wrapping up this year, I want you to speak to everybody out there to empower them, encourage them, motivate them, and inspire them. All right?
Got it.
So we're going to start with Speak That Movement pillar number 1. Dream it. What are your thoughts?
If you have a dream or a vision in your mind, it was given to you for a reason. I didn't have let me do a series like Tiara. That was her dream and her vision. Whatever was downloaded into you, you are meant to do it. And if you don't do it, you are doing a disservice to the people who have been waiting on you to be their solution. So that is my dream it, because it's important for you to dream it, because you are the answer to someone's problem or their desire. And if you don't do it, then you've done a disservice to those people, and they will go on to their lives not being fulfilled because you didn't follow your dream.
Very nice. Very nice. Speak That Movement pillar number 2. Believe it.
Okay. So if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. And believe it doesn't mean it's just a thought. Believe it isn't, oh yeah, that sounds nice. Believe it has to be at your cells, like at a cellular level. You feel it in your soul, in your bones, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that it is going to happen. So that's faith and belief together. And if, again, that dream that you have, you're believing it for not just for yourself, you're believing it that it's going to help those people that have been waiting for you. And you have to believe that what you have to offer is going to change their lives. And it's not about you, it's about them. So you have to believe that.
Very nice. It's not about you, it's about others. Speak That Movement pillar number 3. Speak it.
Speak it. Our words have power, whether it's verbally, subconsciously, or subconsciously, or consciously, whatever I just said. Your words have power, and they don't always have to be verbal. The words or the mind chatter that's in your head. So you have power over that. Whatever you say, and you've heard this before, whatever you say is true. I can or I cannot. It's true. So make sure that you're speaking positive over yourself and for the people around you, because whatever you're speaking is like, it goes out. It sounds bad, but it's almost like the virus, right? It goes out and it's unseen, and it gets planted down on the people, on their ears subconsciously. So be conscious of what you speak, because everything is true.
That's good stuff. That's good. Dr. V, dropping it. The last and final Speak That Movement pillar you just shared with us. Dream it, believe it, and speak it. So I'm going to ask you to take over the Speak That Talks platform and just pour your heart out to the people out there desiring to reinvent themselves. Close out 2020 with the mindset on being the very best person that they can be. So take it away with Walk It.
So all of the dreaming, believing, and speaking does not happen until you get into action. Action is the antidote to despair. And if you are feeling like, oh my gosh, this 2020 has been horrible, and this is going to sound harsh, but it's true, you made that happen. You have to be in charge. Nothing happens until you make it happen. So what that means is you have to walk everything that you dreamed, everything that you believed, and everything that you spoke over yourself. You have to walk it out. Y'all know that song. You have to walk it out and be in action and take those steps and take ownership of the things that happen. Because if you look around, if you don't like where you ended up being, that means you walked yourself into that position. And if you walked yourself into that position, you can also walk yourself out of that position. So you don't need my permission. You don't need Tiara's permission. You give yourself permission, and then you tell your situation that you're giving notice, and you're walking into 2021 like never before.
Boom. Yes, everybody, please give Dr. V virtual hearts, virtual pumps, virtual praises. Yes, hearts. Shout out. Thank you so much, Dr. V. I love that it was succinct. It was powerful. So thank you so much. This is why I love Speak That Talks, because I never know what I'm going to hear. I never know what you're going to hear. I don't know what the virtual guests are going to hear or say virtually. So what a blessing. What a blessing. And you are definitely getting some hearts and some
Thank
shout outs
you.
out there, some amens. So thank you so much for that. And Bobby said that was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you. So, Dr. V, I know people are wondering how can they get a little bit more of you? Like you got us all pumped up. We're gonna be walking around tomorrow. Like, I give myself permission. I give you notice. Okay. There's gonna be some eviction notices out there on hating and negativity.
Yes. So I would love for everyone to mark their calendars for December 22nd. That is when my book is launching on Amazon, Embracing Grit for Greatness, Becoming Professionally Powerful by being professionally powerful through personal empowerment. So December 22nd, everyone needs to go on Amazon. So that is one way. If you want to know more about all of that stuff I just talked about, I'm fresh on it because most of that is in my book. And then the other way to be connected is through my free gift, drvernitafreegift.com/life. And it's 21 essential habits of empowered and influential women who lead. And just some habits that I use on a daily over my personal development journey. And I want to share that with all of you.
So, are you giving the Speak That Talks folks a early Christmas present?
Yeah, go. Yes, you can get an early Christmas present. There are 2 Christmas presents. There are 3. If you do, you can do that. The free gift, of course, we love free gifts, and it should, change your life. Go December 22nd with the Amazon drop. The book will be on sale for a ridiculous price. But then, if you follow me on Instagram and like my book launch post, I will be giving away a personalized hard copy of my book when it gets shipped to me. If you are the winner, you can have that as well. So you have to go to my Instagram page, Dr. Vernita Glenn White.
All
So
right.
yeah, a lot of stuff happening. Like, I love the people.
Yes. And so I've had several authors on Speak That Talks this year. And I love authors. I love creators. I love you life coaches because we all like-minded. I just love everybody, right? Everybody come on, Speak That Talks. But I wanna be a blessing. So I want to make sure I order a copy for me and a guest. So I would say this: if you would like a free copy of the book, and I'm doing this out there. If you've already won one, let somebody else win because I have blessed other people with books. So if you want a free copy of the new book, I need to, what do you want to put? Dr. V in the comments. And I will get my copy and I'm going to purchase a copy for somebody else. So we have some hearts out there, but I need to see Dr. V up out there. Hey girl, you're gonna have a copy of the book. So tell us the name of the book again.
Embracing Grit for Greatness, Becoming Professionally Powerful Through Personal Empowerment. I'll have all of, like, as I get closer to launch date, I'll have the website and everything for that, but it's out. I was trying to see so you can see a picture of it. Let me see.
Oh, let's see. Scoot it over. Ooh, you know what? Let me get out of the way.
Can they see that? I don't know. I think my light is
We
off. But
see you. We
anyway,
see you standing with your power. I'm giving.
I'm up there. But yes, the book will be out. It was a labor of love. Oh my gosh, this is my second book, but it's like my first personal book. My first book was a tribute to my mom, but this one I'm sharing all my stuff. But it's not only just my story, because people really don't care about your story like that. But it's like, how did I get over to the other side? So some tools and some strategies and some exercises that I did to get to the place where I give notice now.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So we have her information. Dr. Lee, folks are loving you and shouting you out. You just blessed this platform with knowledge, with you gave us all a reason to say that we now know somebody has a doctorate in math. So that is amazing. So you are inspiration. You're like book number 2 dropping days before this year ends. Like, I'm not waiting until January 2021.
No, it had to get out.
I love it. I love it. So any other ways that people can reach you or follow you or show you love?
Yeah, social media platforms, some version of Dr. Vernita Glenn White, Facebook page. I have a YouTube channel. I'm in the middle of doing Vlogmas. So I'm trying to do all of this stuff. Like I said, you got to put stuff in, and put your finger, test the waters out. So I'm like all over the place as much as I can, because I remember when I wouldn't come on camera, and that was just in 2018. So I was like, how dare I not get on and just blow it out the water.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. We're nearing the end. This has truly been fun and empowering and motivating. So
Absolutely.
thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of the Women Who Lead Speak That Talks series.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I wish you nothing but blessings and prosperity and abundance. I speak success over this new book and over this chapter of your life where you have reinvented yourself.
I received that. Thank you so much.
And the best is yet to come.
Absolutely. Thank you
so much. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another awesome week of Speak That Talks. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for sharing and commenting and being a part of the virtual conversation today. Lots of nuggets were dropped as always. And as I love to say, the best is yet to come. If you've been tuning in any of the 32 weeks, thank you. If you are curious now to say, what were the past weeks like? Go to the Speak That Movement page on Facebook or YouTube. You can check out the replays. Also, I would love for you all to come on back next week. Next week, I have another speaker. She's actually in Texas. So all of you Texas folks, show us some Texas love. If you're not in Texas, show us some national and some international love by joining in. And so we're going to have a great conversation next week. And as always, y'all, thank you so much. I feel so blessed and so grateful that God poured this platform into me. And I thank y'all for just listening. And thank you for supporting Tiara PR Network, Speak That Movement, and Speak That Talks. I hope you got something out of this one. And if you want to learn more, just check out the website, as I said earlier, tiaraprnetwork.com. And also stay tuned to my personal page, because I have an announcement coming out regarding Speak That Movement within the next few days. So I really want all of you to have the inside scoop, and just check out the Speak That Movement page and check out my personal page, and I will be sharing the announcement really soon. And I'm grateful for you too, Miss Karen. Thank you for rocking with Speak That since 2011. That's how long this has been going on, the Speak That concept. So thank you, my sister. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful day. May God bless you. May God keep you. And again, the best is yet to come. Stay safe out there. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.